Welcome to the Whurthy Services training video series. This is Module 2, the Service Provider's Experience. In this 7th video, we're going to walk through cancel bookings. We'll start by reviewing my appointments, then we will cancel my appointments, then we will look at how we complete and verify the cancel bookings workflow. And so we're returning to the mobile view. I'm going to walk through a scenario where as a service provider, it's the weekend and I'm on a day off, but for whatever reason, something's come up and I've got an unexpected absence I'm going to have on the next day that I would have to attend. So we're going to have a look at that. We're going to review and see how this is taken care of within Whurthy Services. Just to get going though, I'm going to just set a baseline. I'm going to go to click on the hamburger there, click on customer profiles. I'm going to scroll down, pick on Michael Germain, and I'm just going to go and do a search. I'm going to do a search for the next day that this therapist is available. So I'll pick November the 2nd here. I'll pick Kerwin as the therapist, and I'll just pick any service. Click on openings. And so basically we get the search confirming, yes, there are openings. Just wanted to set that as a baseline. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at my sessions. And so I'm going to click on the hamburger, appointment management, and then click on my appointments. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scroll down and I can see there are no bookings for today. So that's good. But underneath, I've now got this next 30 days section with the number 6. That's just telling me I've got 6 bookings over the next 30 days. And obviously, if you are watching this and you are a busy service provider, that number will be quite a bit higher. So I'm going to click on this show bookings checkbox. I can see here that there are 4 bookings or 4 appointments set up for the 2nd of November. What I'm going to do now is, following this hypothetical situation, it's the weekend and this is November 2nd is the next day that I'm going in. So I'm going to now cancel bookings for November 2nd, just that one day. That's enough. Obviously, this can be extended to whatever date range that you want, but just for the purposes of this, we've got 4 appointments in here total on that day. So I'm going to scroll back up and then look for the cancel bookings button. Now, just a point of clarity here. Not only can I, as the host, cancel bookings, but there's also a security level known as business admin, and business admins can also come in and cancel bookings as well. So whether or not you're a super user, you're the owner or the director of the facility, you can cancel bookings. Say if the host phones in or you determine or you learn that they're not available, then you can cancel bookings on their behalf. But also those staff members that have that business admin security level can also cancel bookings on behalf of a service provider. So I'm going to go ahead and click on cancel bookings. And so the scenario here is I've got my smartphone. Maybe I've planned to fly back and there's been some problem with the flight and it's got canceled and I know I'm not going to make it back. You know, this idea of canceling bookings through Whurthy Services this way, there's all sorts of practicality for this. And so now we've got the instructions. These are all the same. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to scroll down till I get to the cancel services from, to, and then the reason. So I'm going to click on this and I am going to go and just select that Wednesday. And I'm going to do the very same again. And then I'm going to do, this is a test cancellation. But normally I would write something in this field that I will feel comfortable in being shared with clients or with customers if notifications are automated. So now I've got that filled in. I'm now going to submit request. So now what I'm going to do is now I have to look at the task, because as the service provider, and that's one hat, I'm also wearing the hat as the cancellation coordinator. So if you had another member of your team was the cancellation coordinator, obviously this wouldn't proceed until that person took care of it, but they will get an email letting them know they've been assigned a task. So I'm now going to go and click on the Whurthy Services heading here. I've got this task, follow up on cancellation request for the therapist, Cowan. So I'm going to click on that. And this is going to take me into the actual edit task page. So I can look here. Here's the task title. I can see the instructions. So I'll just review this, review the event bookings below and determine how you would like to proceed. Please note the following important information regarding completing this task. Cancel request actions taken. Use this field to write up all the actions you have and or will be taking. The more detailed you are, the more helpful it is. For example, you may use this field to track those customers you have contacted manually. Then we've got two decision fields. We've got a cancel request notification field. So select automated notification to have the Whurthy automatically notify all customers that opted in. Review all the records below to identify those customers you need to contact manually. Please note, once you have selected automated notification, the field will disappear to prevent more than one send. So in other words, you may not complete the task. And so you may not complete the task. You may do the automated notification, but you may do the cancellation manually. Or you may automate the cancellation and then do the automated notification. So the idea of saving this and tracking that information, once you've actually initiated automated notification, it won't appear again. So the next field is cancel request cancellation. So select automated booking cancellation to have the Whurthy mark all events and event bookings as cancelled. And then task status. When you have completed this task, select the status complete. So important notes here. So as soon as you edit and save this task, all available days for the service provider will have their vacations entered. This will prevent any openings from being bookable. And a Whurthy tip, if you delete this task without saving, no changes will be made. So you have a way of backing out, okay? So we're going to scroll down. And now what we have is in the task description, it's gone and it's run through. Whurthy's basically worked out what are all the different pieces that are going to be impacted here. So first of all, we get to see the overall request information. So this is the therapist. This reference is how it's stored in the system. It was requested by me, so I am the therapist. So I can see who is this cancellation concerning and who made that initiation. I get to see the date and the time that it was initiated. So it just happened. And then we get to see the cancellation reasons. So this is the text that I entered in. If we select automated notification, it's going to include that inside the email. I'm going to scroll down. Then it's going to show all the bookings. So if you remember, there were 4 bookings. So now what it's going to do is it's going to list each booking with all of their details. Now you can scroll down. It's going to tell you, for example, their customer loyalty tier. It's going to let you know what their contact information is. It's telling you what the status is, if it's a package credit or not. So the idea is giving you all of the detailed information for each booking. So we'll just scroll down and there are 4. And we can actually see here that we have got a total of $299 or nearly $300 that would be due, but only $52.50 has actually been paid. So that's showing me the actual service cost and the taxes, because that was fully what they paid. So now whoever is the cancellation coordinator has this task and can actually now look at, well, I need to refund this to this person and that to that person. So it's not just about whether or not Whurthy automatically notifies and cancels and makes sure that the service provider can't be booked. It's also about processing the financial impacts. Because if you are canceling an appointment for a customer, then it would be expected that you would be refunding them. So this information is allowing you to do that. And so I'm going to put in here the task activity. I'm going to go accepted and marked as automated cancellation and notification. So you could add all sorts of detail here. You can click on that little button here just to be, to start to add, did this, did that. Really, whatever you want to use. This field is designed to be a way for you to organize and keep track of everything that you've done. But our experience is that if you are selecting automated, there's a lot less to do, okay, if you're letting Whurthy automate this for you. So I'm going to mark this as completed, but I could mark it as in progress that's perfectly okay. And that actually will make sense if I am processing refunds. I might mark it as in process, then select both of these as automated. So automated booking cancellation and automated notification. And then I can process the refunds. I'm going to mark this as completed. And that really is everything that I need to do. So I'm going to click on update follow-up task. The success flash message at the top is now giving me additional detail. It's telling me that the cancellation request follow-up action task has been updated. Now, it's got here that it sent one email. Well, the reality is I made 4 bookings on November 2nd for the same customer. And so down here, we've now got that I've got the task completed. So now what I want to do is I actually want to go and verify. I want to look at the canceled tasks, and then I want to check if I can be booked just to verify. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the hamburger, and now I'm going to click on appointment management, and I'm going to click on canceled appointments. So now this list of canceled appointments is going to grow, but at the search card in the top here, I'm going to go ahead and just search by Kerwin. And it's actually telling me there are 4 canceled bookings. Those are the bookings I just canceled. And as it grows, there's also the ability to search these canceled bookings between a date period. So if you had done a date range, then you could search by the date range. And obviously, as there are more and more cancellations stored inside the Whurthy services instance that you're running, then searching by date and a therapist is going to be very helpful, but I want to verify it there. So the final check is going to be, can I book now for this 2nd of November? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go to customer profiles, come down here to Michael, and then click on book appointment. And we're going to find out pretty quickly because I'm going to select the 2nd, and then I'm going to select Kerwin, and I'm just going to not even select a service. It shouldn't matter. Click on openings, and I can see, unfortunately, there are no openings on Wednesday, 2nd of November. However, below you will find the first 6 available openings for the next day. Now, obviously, if I'd done that for a date range, then it would have made me unavailable. It would have made the service provider unavailable until the end of that date range. I just happened to pick one day. Anyway, and so what I'm now going to do is I am just going to do the final review. And so cancel bookings, this is a summary of the key checks and business rules that are being applied here. So when it comes to cancel bookings, when initiating cancel bookings, Whurthy will check all public holidays, opening hours, and service provider vacations. So it's doing that to identify if the date range that's being entered is already, or if the date range that's being entered doesn't actually have any days on which the service provider is available, it won't even initiate the workflow. Now, that's useful if, for example, a business admin's coming in and they are thinking, I just heard that Kerwin's not going to be able to make it on this day. And they go in and they initiate the cancel bookings workflow. If it turns out that it wasn't available anyway, it's not going to go through wasting everyone's time on, well, there needs to be this workflow and we need to check. So that's the first check. So assuming there are actually open days or days on which the service provider is available, has bookings, then it will go to the next step. So the second step is only going to happen if that global setting of workflow approval active is set to yes. If it's set to yes, then Whurthy will assign an approval task to the cancellation approver. The next step then is Whurthy would assign an action task to the cancellation coordinator to select how cancellations will be processed. And then it will go through, as we saw, it will take care of the notifications, emailing everybody, and then it will take care of canceling, assuming you select automated cancellations and notifications. As a Whurthy tip, I'd offer the following. We would recommend to select automated cancellations 99% of the time. And the reason why is there's quite a few moving pieces to take care of. And if you miss any of them, then you could end up with some problems, some unexpected consequences of that. On the other hand, doing manual notifications, that's really for you. You may want to actually reach out to the person, phone them, for example. And so you can reach out to them individually. So that's why we've engineered the ability to select the automated path versus the manual path. And then finally, once that action task is complete, then Whurthy will make the service provider unavailable for the cancellation period. Well, that concludes our review of cancel bookings. And I hope you'll understand and join me in agreeing when I say, Whurthy, value made easy.